So just to summary, whatever we discussed yesterday. Okay, so we have seen what is access control in Snowflake and what are the models Snowflake supports for access controlling. Okay, those are discretionary access control and role-based access control. Okay, and what are all the key concepts of access control, like what are the objects? Okay, what is meant by role, what is meant by privileges, what is meant by user. Okay, and how this is working. Okay, and what are all the privileges we can grant on all the database objects. Okay, and what is the object hierarchy. Okay, and what are all the roles available in Snowflake, like system defined roles, custom roles, and out there are six system defined roles: arg admin, account admin, security admin, user admin, sysadmin, and the default public role. And this is the role hierarchy where account admin is at the top level, and security admin and sysadmin are just below him, and user admin is just below secure admin. So whenever user admin can do something, so all those properties are inherited to security admin, that he can also do all the things performed by user admin. Like the same way, so whatever the things sysadmin and the security admin can do, all those properties are inherited to account admin. That means he can control everything. Okay, and public is the last level role where it is by default granted to all the roles and all the users. And when it comes to the custom roles, so not only the system defined roles, we can define our role custom roles based on the business functionality we are doing. So we are doing in a project environment, we can create like a developer role, tester role, analyst role, end user role, like that. And based on the user, we can grant access to those roles to users. Okay, so this is about the summary whatever we discussed yesterday. And I tried to modify this picture a little bit from yesterday, so you can so if you see here, sysadmin is responsible for database object creation, schemas, tables, okay, and privileges, to grant the privileges. Okay, he can create all these objects. And if you see the user admin, okay, here user admin can create the roles, user admin can create the users. Okay, but he cannot grant the access. Okay, role, he cannot assign the roles to users. Okay, so security admin can link this part. He can assign the roles to users, or they can assign the users to particular roles. Okay, so grant roles to users and other roles. Now this part is set up and this part is set up. Now how to grant the access, okay, on objects. So how to grant the access on objects to these roles. So this part again sysadmin can do. Okay, grant privileges to roles. What are all the privileges? These many privileges can be granted to any of this role based on the functionality whatever they are doing. Okay, so this is what we discussed yesterday, but I just updated the links here. Okay, based on the role, I have updated the links. And today we will do this in practical. Okay, whatever I told yesterday, so we'll try to create some users with the account admin privileges, security admin privileges, sysadmin privileges. At the same time, we'll create some roles and assign those roles to some users. Okay, and then we'll create some database and try to create some table and grant the table access to these roles. Okay, we'll see all those things. So in this example, if you see, I have created four four roles. Okay, sales admin, sales user, and HR admin and HR users. At the same time, I have created four users also. Okay, for each role I have assigned it to one user. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll try to link this, I'll try to assign this sales role to sysadmin, but I will not assign this HR roles to sysadmin. We'll see. So as a best practice, we have to assign all the custom roles to the sysadmin, right? So if we don't do that, what will happen? We'll see. So if we don't assign that, system admin will not have control over the database things or user things here, whatever is happening. But that is not a good thing. System administrators should be able to control everything. Okay, so we'll see this in practice today. Okay. So we are on the Snowflake account and I have the queries ready. We'll see each and everything. Okay. So first we'll log in with the account admin. Okay. And try to create some roles. Okay. I'm creating some, not roles. I'm creating some 3 users. Okay. Let's copy this to our Snowflake account. Sorry. Okay. So if you see here, I am creating one user, okay, for account admin. So how to create a user? This is important, okay. Create user, username and password. So just create user, username, and we have to set some password. And what we are saying, the default role we are providing to this user is account admin. So whenever we execute this from this point onwards, along with the BGR 520, even Donald will become the account admin. Okay, because I am the owner of this account and I am the account admin. I have all the access to create users and assign the default roles. Okay, so I am doing this. Create user. So suppose whenever I'm busy, okay, I cannot control all the things here. Okay, if I have another user with the account admin privileges, what he can do, he can control. So this is what happens in the real time also. Whoever is creating the organization, they will create some account admin roles. Okay, account admin users, they will take care from there. So I am doing the same. I am creating one user with the default role as account admin, and there is one property in the create user command, that is must change password equals to true or false. That means, so we are giving one default password to him. So whenever he tries to log in for the first time, it will ask to change the password. He has so if we update it false, then it will not ask for updating the password. But I am asking this user to update the password. Okay, so let's run this. So user Donald successfully created. Okay, and what I have to do, even though this is a default role we are assigning, we have to execute one more statement, like we have to grant the role account admin to this user Donald. Okay, so I am granting the role. This is the default role. I am the account admin, so I can grant this account admin role to another user. So grant role account admin to this user. Okay, the statement was executed successfully. Like the same way, I am creating one more user, okay, with the security admin privileges. Okay, so create user Charles. Password is the same password I'm putting for everyone, and default role is security admin, and must change password equals to true. Okay, Charles is security admin now. Okay, I am granting security admin privileges to this user Charles. Okay, like the same way, what I'm doing, I am creating one more user Janet. Okay, with the sysadmin privileges. Okay, so the same password I'm using for Janet also, and I am giving all the sysadmin privileges to the user Janet. So this is completed. Now we are done with, okay, creating some users. Okay, one user with the account admin privileges, one user with security admin privileges, and one more user with sysadmin privileges. Now, so this is what account admin can do. Okay, at the top level, he can do anything. He can create database objects. He can create he can grant the privileges to roles and users. He can do everything. But in general, what they do at the most, so first of all they'll create some users. Okay, they are responsible for everything after that. So whenever I'm creating one account admin with Donald, now he will take care of all the account related things. Okay, whenever I'm creating a security admin, he will take care of all the security related things. That means creating roles, creating users, okay, granting the roles to users, everything he will take care. And when I'm creating one user with sysadmin privileges, now he will be responsible for creating the databases, warehouses, schemas, tables, okay, and granting those object privileges to roles. Okay, he will be responsible for everything. Okay, so now we are done with the account admin practice. Now let's log in with this user, so who can create the roles and who can create the other users. Okay, We'll try to log in with this username, Charles, and this password, and let's see what will happen. Okay. Okay. So what it is asking, your password for Charles has expired because we set the property, right? Must change password equals to true. Okay. So I am changing the password. I am entering one default password again. Okay. Just to make sure I'll not forget it again and again. I'm using this default password for all other users. So I'm just giving this password from now onwards. Whenever I'm updating, so we have
Okay.
to put at least one number, one mm, uppercase letter, and one symbol, right? And it should be minimum with 8 characters. So I'm just
Okay.
putting some default password. And as we are logging for the first time, and this is going to with this user, if we are logging for the first time, right? That's why it is going to the snow site. We can come back to classic console. So in real time also we have to log in like this. So we will have one user ID associated with our name or employee ID, and with that password we have to log in. And in the left right top right corner only it will show whatever the user we just logged in with. Okay. So if you see here, just observe it. So if you see here, we logged in with security admin Charles. So if I just click here, and whenever I try to switch the roles, now the arg admin, sysadmin, okay, and what is account admin, those are not available. So whenever we are logging in with security admin, only the roles under that role, like, so what are the roles under that? So it inherits the properties of user admin and public. So only we can switch to these roles. Okay, we cannot switch to sysadmin or account admin or org admin with security admin. So whatever the down roles, okay, whatever the roles below this, only we can switch to those roles. Okay, understanding, right? So whenever we create some custom roles with this, so custom roles mostly assigned to sysadmin. So even though you create some custom roles, it will not appear here. Whenever you log in with sysadmin, then only they will appear, the custom roles. We'll see that later. Okay, for now let's try to understand. Okay, and if you see here, as I told yesterday, for security admin also, he will have less number of privileges. Okay, so when I clicked on account tab, it is showing me not authorized to manage the specified object. Okay. So we cannot see this users billing information. Okay. But if we can see the users and roles information only here by using the security admin, we can see only users and roles available in the account, but we cannot see all the account related things. Okay. So reader accounts we cannot see, usage and billing we cannot see. Okay. So user admin, security admin will have less access to this account tab. Okay, and come back to worksheet and we'll try to execute the queries. Okay. Now, so in the diagram, whatever I shown, this part of setup is completed. Now let's try to create this part where we have to create the roles first. Okay, then we have to create the users and grant those users to those roles. Grant those roles to those users. Okay, this what we can do with security admin. And the creation of data objects we have to do with sysadmin again. Okay, so for now we'll try to do the security admin things. So in the first step, what I'm doing, create sales roles and users for sales. Okay, so I have two departments now. Okay, sales department and HR department. Now I'm creating two roles for sales and two roles for HR. At the same time, I am creating two users from sales group and two users from HR group. Okay, so first of all, I'm creating the role. How to create the role? It's simple. Create role name. Okay, it's very simple. Create role name. Okay, this role has been created, and I'm creating one more role, sales users. Okay, so this role is also completed. Now we have to create hierarchy. So whatever I mentioned in the diagram, so we have to create hierarchy. Like, so whenever sales admin is some level of top level, okay, sales user is under the sales admin. That means whatever the sales user can do, those things should be done by can be done by sales admin also. So for that, what we have to do, we have to grant this role, sales user role, to sales admin role. So this is how we maintain the hierarchy. This is how we generate the hierarchy. This is how we create the hierarchy between some roles. So next time what I will do, I will assign this role to sysadmin role. So that means I am building this hierarchy again. So whenever you want to build some role hierarchy, what you have to do, we have to execute a command like this: grant role role, okay, role name to the other role, to which user we are creating the hierarchy. We have to do like this: grant role, okay, role name to the role, the other role name. So where we want to put the top level. Okay, now I am granting the sales users to sales admin. Okay, so try to run this. Okay, and after that, what I am doing, I am granting sales admin to sysadmin, so that sysadmin can control both sales admin and sales user roles. Okay, so I'm doing this one also. Okay, this is completed. Now the roles part and hierarchy part is completed. Now let's try to create some users. Okay, and then assign these roles to the users. How to do that? So for creating a sales user, what I have to do, okay, create user, the same command whatever we used in the previous previous tab. Okay, while explaining the account admin part, create user username and password, default password, and the default role I am giving is sales users. Okay, because we have created this role already here. If you don't create this role already, then you cannot grant this. Okay, so create user. Okay, Amar sales, this is my username and this is the password I'm setting, and you can consider this as a custom role for now. Okay, this is the custom role actually. So we have created these roles, right? These are the custom roles. They are not available. Okay, but we are creating. That means they are not system defined roles. They are custom roles. We'll come to that discussion later. Okay. So I'm creating this user for now, and I'm putting must change password equals to true. So user Amar underscore sales completed. Creation of this user is completed. Now we have to grant this access. Grant role. What role I am giving to Amar? Okay, sales user. He is just a user. Okay. So I have granted this access. Okay. And the next step, what I am doing, the same thing I am doing. So I am creating one user for sales administration. Okay. So create user Akbar underscore sales admin, password, putting password, and here I am giving the default role as sales admin. Okay, and must change password equals to true. Let's execute this, and I'm granting the sales admin to this the user we just have created. Okay, okay, so this is completed. Now whatever we did, let's come back here. We have created two roles, sales users and sales admin, and we have created two users as well, Amar Sales and Amar Sales Admin. Okay, and we have granted these roles to these users, and we assigned this admin role to sysadmin. Okay, so this part is completed now. Now let's try to do execute this part. Okay, so where I will be creating one more department called HR department. Okay, for HR department, I am creating roles. The same way, create role HR admin and HR users. Okay, both are created, and I am granting a role HR users to HR admin. That means I am setting up this hierarchy. Okay, I am granting HR users to HR admin, setting this hierarchy. Okay, and if you see, I'm not setting this hierarchy. I'm not granting HR admin to sysadmin. We'll see what will happen if we do that. Okay. I'm not providing this link, but I'm creating two more users, Bobby HR and Balu HR admin. Okay, the same way we created for sales admin and sales HR. I'm creating sales users. I'm creating for HR users and HR admin. Okay, I'm granting the same roles. Granting the HR users role to Bobby, and I'm granting a HR admin role to Balu. Okay, I'm executing this one also. Okay, so now this part is also completed. We have created all these users, all the roles, all the users, and granted those roles to users. This part is completed. Account admin part is completed. Security admin part is completed. And now let's see what will happen with the sysadmin. Okay, we have to do what sysadmin can do. He can create database objects. He can create tables. Okay, he can set the privileges on tables to roles. Let's see that. Okay, so this part is completed. So I am logging out of security admin. As I know all the users and password, I am able to log in this. But in real time, what will happen? Whoever have that corresponding access, sysadmin or security admin or account admin, they can only do that. Okay, so what is the sysadmin role we had created? It is Janet. Okay, let's try to log in with the okay, so I'm logging in with the Janet account, who is my sysadmin. This is all you can practice actually. So again, it is asking, okay, to change the password. So the default password, I'm updating it to bcd admin. So if you see here now, there is no account tab. Okay. So sysadmin can never access the account related to things. Okay. And if you go this top right corner and just click on this. So now Janet is the user we logged in, and he has the privileges. She has the privileges of sysadmin. Let's click on this drop down and go to switch role. So if you see here, what are all the things appearing here? Okay, sysadmin. And what is the role below that sysadmin? Only public. And you can see two more roles here because we have created that link. We have created custom roles and assigned those custom roles to sysadmin, right? So that's why we are able to see here. And if you see, we have created two more roles, HR admin and HR users, but they are not appearing here because we haven't linked them. That means we did not granted those roles to sysadmin. That's why they are not appearing here. Okay. So you are understanding, right? Based on whatever we are doing, we can see that here itself. Okay. So now I'm logged in with sysadmin. So I can only switch to the roles where whichever are below. Okay, sysadmin. So whatever the below roles for sysadmin, like public or sales admin or whatever the custom roles we are creating and assign to those roles to sysadmin, we can switch to any of those roles. Okay. So this is about sysadmin, and let's try to create some database objects. So first we have to, I have given clear instructions, okay, how to practice. Login as user Janet, who is the security admin, and update password to, okay, you can set in your system, you can set to whatever you want. Okay. Now let's try to copy these queries. Okay, whatever we can do with sysadmin, I'll show you all the things. Okay, so what admin can do, what sysadmin can do, he can operate completely the database related things. So he will have access to create warehouses, virtual warehouses. But if you observe, security admin cannot create the virtual warehouse. Only account admin and sysadmin can do. Okay, so in our first class or second class, okay, we have created one warehouse, my own warehouse, like that, right? Virtual warehouse, and we had created that with account admin privileges. Now I'm doing it with sysadmin. Okay, so create warehouse, some public warehouse I'm creating with warehouse size as small, and auto suspend equals to 300 and auto resume equals to true. So we can do from here also. Okay, I can go to here. I can create a warehouse. Okay, and I can give this properties, name, size, okay, auto resume, auto suspend, everything. Okay, or we can just simply execute this command. Let's try to execute this command. Okay, virtual warehouse has been created. And so I'm creating a small size virtual warehouse, and I'm giving auto suspend as 300 seconds, that is 5 minutes, and I'm setting auto resume equals to true. So my virtual warehouse has been completed. Why I'm creating? Just to show you, like, so we are not going to utilize this. We can use this compute itself. If we want to use, we can use compute warehouse itself. But just to show you, sysadmin will have the privileges to create warehouses. I am just executing this. Okay, and what he can do. Okay, grant usage on warehouse to the role public. Okay, so if I want to grant usage of my warehouse, like whoever can use this, so sysadmin can control this one also. Whoever can use the virtual warehouse, he can decide. Okay, so I am granting this to public. So that means anyone we are going to create, like the other uh, um, custom roles, or whoever logins with the public role, they can use this virtual warehouse. Okay, so I'm setting it publicly. Grant usage on warehouse, this public warehouse to the role public role. That means anyone can use this virtual warehouse. That means anyone can run queries on this virtual warehouse. Okay, for our convenient, I am just giving this access, so that we should not give the run this same command for every user. So at the public level, I am giving the access to this warehouse to all the users. Okay, so that means sysadmin can create the warehouse. Sysadmin can grant the access to the virtual warehouse to any users or any roles. Okay, and now let's try to create some database and schema and database objects. Okay, so first I am creating a database. It's simple command, create database public DB. Okay, so I'm creating a database with the public DB. And now if you observe here, so we have to grant this DB access to all, everyone. That means whoever Next, going to, so whenever we create some custom roles, our users, they should be able to log in to use this database, right? So table level will have different privileges. Okay, select, insert, but at least they should be able to access the database first, right? So that's why we are setting this role as public. So anyone whoever logins to this account, they can be able to access this public database. So we will not grant all the permissions to tables, okay, to the public in the later point of time. But for the warehouse and for database, we have to grant, right? Then only they can log into their accounts and they can query this database. Okay, so I'm just granting the access to the database to the public. Okay, so whoever logins next time, they can utilize this database. Okay, so at the same way, if it is a public warehouse, so we can do like this. Okay, but if I have a specific databases that contains only sales related data or only HR related data. Okay, so for public we can simply grant it to public, but for a sales DB or a HR DB, I have private databases. Okay, I don't want to uh, give the access to everyone on those databases. I want to restrict the access to only some of the users. Okay, so this is the default warehouse and this is the default database. Okay, public warehouse and public DB. But now I'm creating some private databases. Okay, so which is specific to the department. So I'm creating one more database called sales database. Okay, now if you observe here, I'm granting the ownership to sales admin that we had created using security admin. So in the previous step, we have created one sales admin role with security admin. We logged in with security admin and created this role, right? Now I'm granting the access to this database, okay, to this admin. Okay, sales admin. Not only the access, I am giving complete ownership to this guy. Okay, because he is the admin, right? So he can do anything later. Okay, if I am giving a full control to this sales admin, he can operate from there onwards. Okay, so whoever log in with this role, sales admin role, so we have given this role to Akbar. Okay, Akbar sales admin, right? So whenever he log in with this role, he can completely operate this database because he will be the owner from there onwards. Okay, so I'm giving this grant, how to grant the complete ownership. Okay, grant ownership on database. Okay, grant ownership on database, which database we are giving the ownership and to which role. Okay, to role, the role name. So let's execute this. Okay, so now whoever logs in with the sales admin role, they can access this private database sales DB. Okay, like the same way schema. Okay, I'm giving this public access also to the sales admin. Okay, grant ownership on schema. So I have a it's not only sufficient whenever you give the access to database. Okay, you have to provide the access to all the schemas inside that database and all the tables inside that schemas. So we have to uh, give privileges like that. We'll see that. Okay, so just come back here, just refresh this. What are the databases available here? So public database is available here, sales database is available here, and if you just click on this sales database, there are two schemas by default. Whenever we create a database, two default schemas will come: information schema and public. Okay, so if you see the public, uh, here there will be many tables. Okay, we are going to create the tables here, and if we just grant the ownership on this database, that is not enough for the users to use these tables. Okay, so we have to grant the ownership or grant the privileges on database level, schema level, and object level, so that only we can control the access, right? So if I have 100 tables, I don't want to give all the 100 tables access to the users. Okay, so if I have 100 tables in the sales DB, I don't want to give. So if you just give a database level and you can ignore, if you ignore, what will happen? They will be able to access all the 100 tables inside that DB, but I don't want to do that. I want to control. Okay, so That is why we grant the access, we grant the ownership or privileges at the object level. First I have given access to the database, then I am giving the access to this public schema. Okay. So now whoever logins with the sales admin, they can go to this database and they can go to this public schema and they will see all the tables here. They won't see all the tables here. Whichever the tables we are going to give the grant, okay, they can see only those tables. Okay, whenever they log in, we'll see. So now whatever I have shown here, I have created two databases. Okay, I have created one database, sales DB, and I'm going to, this diagram is not, so I little bit modified it yesterday, but I forgot to update here. I will do that. So I thought to create only one DB and give you the access to both the things, but I have created two databases, okay, for some other purpose. So now we have created the sales database and we have given the ownership to this sales admin. So if you observe, I am not giving the ownership to sales users because I want to give the ownership only to admin so that sales admin can control this database from this point onwards. Okay. And now I'm trying to create the same. Okay. I'm creating one HRDB, create database HRDB. And if you observe here, I'm granting the ownership to HR admin, okay, that we had created using security admin. So we have created two roles, right? HR admin and HR users. Okay. So I am granting, just observe this. This is very important. I am granting ownership on this HR database to the role HR admin. Okay. So now he is the owner. HR admin is the owner of this database. Okay. So what will happen? When I try to execute this command, what will happen? So it is throwing me some error. Why? So whatever I did here with the sales database, I'm doing the same here. Okay. I have granted the ownership on this HRDB to this HR admin, and I'm trying to grant the ownership on this schema, this HRDB public to HR admin. But why it is throwing error? It is saying HRDB does not exist or not authorized. So HRDB does not exist. This is false because we have created this database and we know it is there. And if you see, I have granted the ownership to HR admin now. Okay, that means from this point of time, the HR admin will be the owner. And if you see our this one, so I did not link this HR admin to sysadmin. Okay, so he is only this sysadmin is only responsible to create the objects. And once, whenever he grant the ownership to other users, okay, now because they are not linked, he will lose the access over those database objects. Okay, that's what it is happening here. So he has grant the ownership to HR admin, and now he can control this database. But whenever we grant the ownership to other users, what will happen? He is not owner anymore. So the sysadmin Janet is not owner of this database anymore. From now onwards, the owner is HR admin, and HR admin is not linked to sysadmin. Okay, that means sysadmin is not taking all the properties of HR admin. Okay, so that's why he is not able to grant the access to this schema only. Okay, so now he can only do, HR admin can grant the access to schemas inside this database to other users from now onwards. Okay, I hope you are. And even though I created this HRDB, it is not visible here. So because I have given the ownership to this guy, so we are not able to see even here. And if you try to drop this one also, you cannot because you are not the owner. So you cannot drop this database. Even though you have created it, you cannot drop it because you have given the ownership to some other role. So this is what all we can do with the sys admin. Okay, we can create warehouses, we can create databases, we can create schemas, we can create the ownership to other roles. Okay, like this we can control. Okay, now the next thing is I'm not executing those queries, but he can just create the tables and grant the privileges also. We'll see that now. Okay. Now, so come to custom roles. We'll come to custom roles now. Whatever we can do with the custom roles, we'll show you. And here we'll create some tables. Okay. And we'll insert some data and we'll see giving privileges to other custom roles. Okay. Okay. So here, if you observe, I'm not logging off with this and I'm not logging in with another user because all the roles, okay, all the roles, custom roles we are going to create, they'll be under sysadmin only. So no need to log out and log in again. We can simply switch to this sales admin or sales user roles. Okay. So we can do in two ways. Okay. So one is just switching the role here, or we can simply use this command, use role sales admin. Okay, so whenever I execute this, here you can see the sales admin. Okay, earlier it was sysadmin, now it came to sales admin. Okay, and I want to use the database sales DB. So here we are not setting the context here, right? So we can do like this. From here also we can set up, or I can simply use sales DB. Okay, use sales DB. So whenever I execute this, here it is coming, and by default public schema will come. So if you want to change the schema, we can just execute one more command, use schema, or we can simply select from here. Okay, as of now there are only two schemas here. Okay, so you are understanding, right, why I'm not logging in with other roles. Okay, because they are under sysadmin. If I want to switch, I can simply switch, okay, to any sales admin or sales user roles. Okay, now let's try to create some table, insert some data, and let's try to give the access to those users we have created, or to the roles we have created. Okay, so I'm creating one table. Okay, table has been created with id, some name, email. This is just some sample table. Okay, no need to bother about this table structure and data. So I have created one table and inserted some random six records. Okay. Now when I just run the show tables, so it is showing me. So customers tables has been created. Customer table has been created, and now I'm switching to sales users role. So we have created this table with the sales admin. Okay. For sales admin, we have given the ownership, right? The ownership of sales database. Okay, so now I am switching to sales user role. Okay, now you can see, you can observe the role here, and I'm just trying to select star from the customers. Okay, so he is not able to access this table because this is the top level role to sales admin. So whenever he create some table, he has to grant the access to sales user, otherwise he cannot access this. But in the vice versa, whenever he creates some tables, okay, and he creates the he grants the ownership to this, he can access all those tables, or even though they are not giving the ownership, they can do, because whatever these users can do, this the upper level user, our role, can do all those things, right? So now we have created one table with the sales admin as a role, and now whenever we are trying to log in, whenever we are trying to access with the sales user, okay, it is not accepting because we haven't given privileges to this table to the user, sales users. Okay, now we'll give those privileges. Okay, so for that, what I have to do, I have to switch back to sales admin. Okay, I'm just going back to sales admin role, and you can see that this is sales admin, and the database we can set. Okay, okay, so it's coming, and if you see, I have these statements are important. So how to grant, the in interview you may ask, you may get a question from interviewer. So if I want to give access to one table, what are all the steps you have to perform? Suppose I have a user A, and I am the admin, sysadmin. I want to grant the privileges on a table to user A or the role A. So what are the steps you have to take care? So first we have to uh, grant usage on the database. Okay, first of all we have to grant usage on the database, then we have to grant the usage on schema, and we have to grant the privileges on the table, whatever the table we are giving, and we can give like that. So if I want to give only select privilege to this table, and I want to give only insert privilege to another table, so those are all things. So three level of access we have to provide. First thing is grant usage on database. Second thing is grant usage on schema, and grant privileges on tables. So you have to tell like this. Okay. So now I'm first of all I'm granting the usage on database. For a database and schema, it is the keyword is usage. Grant usage. It is same in the regular databases, right? Oracle or Teradata. It's same, right? We give grant usage on database and grant privileges on tables, right? So we have given this, and I'm granting usage on the public schema to the role sales users, and I'm granting only select privileges, okay, to this table, to this role, okay, select privileges on this table to the role sales users, okay. So I have given the privileges, and again switch back to user roles, sales user role, just to verify the same, okay. I'm switching back and I'm running the same query again, okay, and I'm running the same query again. Now the sales user, okay, sales user, so you can see the role here, he's able to access the tables because sales admin has provided the access, okay. Only he has provided only the select access. Now let's see, okay. I want to delete this data, so now I am under sales user role. Whenever I try to do this delete, okay, so it is saying insufficient privileges. So because the admin, sales admin granted only select access. Okay, DML access he did not provide. Like he cannot insert data, he cannot delete data, he cannot drop this table, he cannot do anything. Okay, so now let's try to switch back to the admin role. Okay, use role sales admin. Okay, and I'm granting all. Now this time I'm granting everything, not only select, insert, okay. So the statement will like grant, select, grant, insert, grant, delete, or grant all also. If whenever we grant all permissions, then this role, okay, can do anything. He can select the data, he can insert the data, delete the data, update the data, he can drop the table also, okay. So we are granting all the access to on this table to this user, sales user. Instead of select, I am giving all. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So statement executed successfully, and try to log in with this role. Switch back to user's role, not admin. Okay. So we are back to this sales user role. Okay. And it takes some 3-4 seconds to this to reflect. Okay. Sales DB and public. And now I am deleting the data. So the data 6 records has been deleted. Let's try to select the data now. Okay. So there are no records in the table, and you can see this sales DB public. I have a table. Okay. Customers. Okay. Now I'm trying to drop the table. Drop table customer. Okay. Insufficient privileges to operate. Why we have given all permissions, right? I'm not sure it will work for drop. Okay. I'll come back on this, only this one. Okay. Why he's whenever we grant all, he should be able to delete the data, insert data. Okay. And he should be able to drop the table also. I will look into this. Okay. He should have access. I'll get back to you on this tomorrow for sure. Okay. And so this is about sysadmin role. Okay, so whatever sysadmin can do, he can create the databases and objects, and he can create custom roles, and later on those custom roles can operate this database. Okay, they can create the tables, they can grant the access to other roles. Okay, like this, a sysadmin, and also at the same time custom roles will work in Snowflake. Now the last thing is just I want to show with the user admin. User admin is almost same as security admin. Okay, he can create only tables, he can create only roles, and he can create only users. Okay, so let's try to execute this quickly. Okay, I just want to show this. Okay, create role market admin, create role market users. I am creating for one more department. Oh, sorry. So we have to switch back to the security admin, then come back to this one. So sysadmin cannot create these roles. That's why it is saying we cannot create. Okay, just log out from sysadmin and log back with the security admin. Okay. So who is our security admin? Charles, right? So now I logged in with the Charles. So if I want to, Charles is a security admin, and if he wants to switch to the other role like user admin, he can do. Okay. So I'm switching to user admin role, and with user admin, I'll operate this. Okay. So I'm just creating two more roles. Where is that? Okay. So I have two more roles like market users and market admin. This is the marketing department. Okay. I'm just creating roles. So user admin can create the roles, and okay, this, so I'm creating this hierarchy again. So I am assigning this user's role to market admin. Okay, so they are completed. And like the way we created the users with account admin and security admin, we can create the users with the user admin also. Like create user Bharat with the default role as market users. Okay, so he can create the user, and he can grant the role market users to Bharat. Okay, and create user some user. So some of the things, okay, whatever security admin can do, user admin also can do. Just creating, okay, um, creating the roles and creating the users and setting the hierarchies, and just assigning those roles, okay, to the users he can do. So user admin is not important, that much important. Okay, only sales admin, sysadmin, and security admin. These two are very important roles because one can control the uh, users and roles related things, and one can control all the database related things. Okay. So in real time, we don't do any of these things. Okay, unless until you are an admin. Okay, you won't do anything, creating roles, creating tables. Only if you need some tables for development, you only you those tables you can create and use it for your testing. Otherwise, the main tables, okay, all the tables will be created by sysadmin, and he will give the privileges, required privileges, select, insert, drop, okay. They will be granted to your role or your user ID, okay. Mostly they won't operate with user IDs. They create roles and assign those roles to users. That is how it works in real time. So we have seen this entire thing today, right? So we have executed commands with account admin, then a security admin, created the users and roles, then logged in with the sysadmin and created the database, and then created custom roles, and created the tables with custom roles, okay, and given access to the other roles. So these are all the things we can do, okay. So it took almost 2 hours for me to picturize this one. Okay, so that anyone can understand easily after looking at this. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.